Hello and welcome back to the Battle Room. I'm, of course, the Battle Room, and today I am joined by my good friend Raghav. How you doing, buddy?
And it's been a really nostalgic time. I found a time capsule from a couple of years ago. It was
Okay.
really cool just, seeing the memories, but also thinking about how things have changed. And today we're doing the exact same thing, but with Pokemon Champions tier list.
That is what we're doing. So we wanted to bring up our old tier list on the screen here because it just so happened to use the same template. So let's talk about where we right, where we wrong. We're not going to spend too much time on this because we got a new tier list to do, but I think some of the notable ones are definitely Ensign being number one. I think some of these, like I think Gengar is definitely probably not S, but like a lot of these are pretty good picks for being in the S tier. But Ensign number one, I'm sorry, buddy, it's not your time.
Yeah, I think a couple other notable ones are like we had Gyarados pretty high. And then Scovillain and C tier. I think we missed on that one. I think a lot of people didn't know Scovillain was gonna be good.
Yeah,
And there's some rogue ones, just like what's Conkeldurr, Snorlax, Azumarill, Kohler. Just that's just kind of crazy. But yeah, I think we need a fresh pair of eyes. We need a blank slate to rank them all again.
so let us begin. First things first, the Kanto trio, Venusaur. How are we feeling about Venusaur now that we've played a lot of champions?
Venusaur was looking really strong on those Charizard teams early format. It's kind of settled down a little bit. I think the sleep nerf's good. I think B or A is very valid for it. I guess we're gonna figure out what the difference is, like how strong the Pokemon in A tier are. But
Yeah,
right now I'm happy with Venu and B.
I think it's probably like, yeah, I think B is definitely probably where it lies. I think it's still pretty solid. I think we could we could see it do well. It's just that I don't know. The sleep nerfs are kind of rough. Like sometimes I literally feel like you can just take the sleep and just wait your turn or two, right? Like it's not that terrible. Obviously, sometimes you still will lose, but I think that he is pretty fair. I think Mega Venusaur. I guess we gotta talk about the Mega too. Um,
Mega Venu's definitely just B. I don't think
yeah,
it's C. It might be C, but it's not A. But he's very solid. I think the grass poison coverage, both in regular base form and Mega, just really nice niche in the format, hitting things like Floette and just the waters are really hard to kill right now
true.
because there's no like electric types or grass types that do damage. So Venusaur has a lot of things going for it where it would otherwise be like pretty bad.
Yeah, I think Charizard is S.
Clear S. I think it's probably the number one mega.
Yeah.
Maybe it or Floette, which we'll talk about later, but very, very easily the first S tier Pokemon.
Blastoise, honestly, he surprised me. I think he is about B. I think he's kind of level with Venusaur. Like, its Mega is pretty solid. There's a lot of teams you can run. I think even in open sheet, like you have to respect Shell Smash. There's a lot of good tools to get him going. I don't think he's like incredible. He's not gonna like. I don't know if he'll win a tournament, but he's definitely a pick you could have where he's like more usable than most Pokemon.
Honestly, every time I play Blastos, I'm so afraid of it. The
Yeah,
Mega one in
yeah,
particular. Its coverage is just so nice. Having Water Spout, obviously really, really strong, but Dark Pulse Aura Sphere makes it such a menace into Basculegion and King Gambit to where, like, I think you have to respect Blastoise as a pick. And B tier feels good. B for Blastoise.
hmm
Could be A sometimes when I'm playing against it.
I don't want to say he's A at all, but like he's definitely super good.
I
I
think he's
think
better than Venu, maybe.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking like he has like I do think there probably needs to be a new Blastoise team that someone makes because he was killing it earlier on. But I think he does just need a little bit more of a push. But I still think he's strong in this meta. Beedrill's
Yeah.
F, right? He's not it.
You don't need to ask, dude. We can just keep going with a few of these Pokemon.
Pidgeot, I think is D at the minimum. I think it has a fast tailwind.
Sure, dude. I don't care. Like, it's a Pidgeot.
Pikachu's definitely D as well. They put Light Ball in the game. Raichu, probably about the same level, not great. This one is just a worse version, in my opinion. There's an electric train.
Fable's like C tier, maybe B tier. Not C, I think.
I think it's C. I think unfortunately Clefable just didn't really like. I don't think Follow Me is just needed. I think there's too many spread moves that like the Follow Me users is like I'd rather just use Mouse. I'd rather use hell even Ariados, right?
Yeah, yeah, no.
I think it's just not
I
a
just
great
think its
pick.
typing is not that good in such a Sneasler heavy format, and
Yeah.
its ability is like not very good either.
Unaware is just not needed. There's barely any. I mean, outside of Floette, Ninetales regular.
A D,
I think it's probably
probably
D.
C,
I
C or
think it's
D.
not
Yeah.
very good. What about Alolan Ninetales? How do you feel about it? Now that we've played with it, I think it is very, very solid in this Weather War format.
I think it's B tier. It could be A. I'm not entirely sure, but I think the sets where you don't even need Aurora Veil, you just run
Yeah.
Encore Disable, make it very very strong. Especially next to Mega Gengar.
Yeah, I think I want to say it's like A with Gengar, but is it very splashable? Mm,
I
not
think
too
it's B
much.
tier. It's like these other guys where like they're pretty good. Secondary like I guess Blastoise is different, but I think it's about like on the same level as Venusaur and Blastoise.
Arcanine, he's just not very good. Intimidate's
Yeah,
just
just
not
don't use
super
them,
good,
dude.
dude. Like, Intimidate being weak sucks for him.
Yeah, I think Hark is either it's a high C or low B. I've seen some Sash sets. I think it's pretty usable. It's definitely not the best fire type in the format,
No.
but being so good into Charizard, having extreme speed, Rock Slide, it makes a pretty decent Pokemon.
I mean, we saw the Hoge brothers. They're known for using Ursaluna. They actually did get top cut in that huge tournament with Hardstone Rockhead Arcanine, with
That's
Head
fucking
Smash.
nuts.
I think he's probably still C, but I do think like him being able to kill Charizard is very, very big in this format. Alakazam, he's terrible. Machamp's terrible. I'm gonna put Victor Bell in D. I think it's funny. Like
Okay, sure.
the bros. I mean, honestly, this bro is probably the best bro. He's probably about in D as well.
Yeah, I don't think he's like terrible. I mean, he's pretty terrible. He's not unusable.
I think he actually can reliably set up Trick Room with the Mega, but like it's like, is that worth? Probably not. But like, is there a team that you're gonna play at a regional with it? Maybe.
Yeah.
Um, this guy kind of blows. I think he sucks. I don't know why we're spending that much time on the Slowbro with a gun. Gengar. Originally, we
Gengar,
had him in S.
yeah, I think as the format has come along, I think he's A tier. Like I think he's not really that S tier. Maybe he will be as people more and more people unlock him. But I think Santino and Michael really prove Gengar is very very strong. With Encore Disable, with certain strong threats like a Garchomp or a strong Dragonite, I think he really does become that guy. And yeah, I think he's just definitely A tier.
Yeah, I think Gengar has shown time and time again that he is very strong, but not as oppressive or suffocating as we originally thought in the first time we went around and did this. Now the next Pokemon is Kangaskhan, who I believe we put in A originally, and I think Kangaskhan is still pretty good. I'm not sure. Is it
I
like a
think
high B?
dude, I think maybe I'm a little biased. I think hot take he is very good. I think he could be A tier.
Okay, I mean, like, I do think that he has some use, and I think that we've seen a lot of double mega teams, especially, do make Kangaskhan really scary. It does do so much damage. This one isn't about, like, I feel like old Kangaskhan was like, hey, it's really bulky. It's going to do a lot of damage, but it's just like this really big, bulky threat that you have to deal with. Whereas now, this one's like a nuclear bomb, because Double Edge is the only move that it's running.
Yeah, I mean it still is fairly bulky because you see it on these trick room teams where you kind of just
Yeah.
run max HP and you pair it next to a Farigiraf. But I think the double edge damage is nuts. Sucker Punch is nice for Basque, and then you have the fighting coverage. Some people are running Ice Punch and stuff on it too. I think there's a little bit of versatility with it, but I think Kangaskhan is good enough to where I want to put an A tier. Like it's above Venusaur, it's above Blastoise in my opinion. I think it's a little bit more consistent than those guys.
I definitely agree. And like you said, like we've seen it with Trick Room. It can be run on Tailwind. It can be used to support something else. I think Kangaskhan does have, it has a lot of utility. It can be flexible.
Yeah.
Pinsir, not very good. We talk
I
about
think it's
Mega
probably our second S tier Pokemon, right?
Mega Pinsir, dude. He's fast. Regular Tauros is garbage. That one is also garbage. Fire
Is that the
Tauros.
fire one, blue one? What are we? What
No,
are
we
looking
have
at?
we have the red one and the blue one, but there's also a third one if you didn't know called the Combat
The
Breed.
fighting one, right?
Yeah, the fighting one. So, um, I think this guy he's like worse than Harkonine though. He is like D, I think.
Yeah.
I think this one is definitely C though. I think he's like in that same Arcanine level where it's like it's clearly a pretty good Pokemon, and on the right team it can shine. It's just there's not a lot of right teams.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like I just don't like it that much. I'd rather use
No.
good Pokemon, but it can definitely work on the right like weird composition, like on those like Zoroark or like just like something crazy. Like, oh, maybe Tauros is the perfect mon to squeeze in here.
I mean, I did see it get top 4 in the Victory Road tournament today, with
What was it next to?
Charizard X. It was like Charizard X, I think Mega Scizor, maybe it wasn't, but yeah,
It's so weird.
it was just
Huh.
like basically like replaced like where Incin would be, because they still had Sneasler to help enable Charizard X, but then they also had Tauros, so he also can at least contest like King Gambit and stuff, so he's not like he can intimidate
The
and then
only
fight back, so it's not terrible.
Yeah, I mean Starmie is pretty bad, dude. I think it's also like C or D.
Yeah, it really didn't like it didn't really show off. Like I thought it would have some potential, but it really didn't.
Yeah.
Gyarados, our A
Another
tier guy.
Pokemon I was so wrong about. Just I think he's still C tier, like he's a decent support Pokemon, like he could make sense. But I wouldn't even be mad based on its current usage and lack of results if you said it was D. I just
Mhm.
think it's not that bad.
He was like a day one guy where it's like, oh, he's kind of neat, and then like afterward, you're like, no, dude, the meta is really not great for him. I think the issue is like, basically, he's just one of the best guys. Bulky waters are good. I would rather just use him than use Gyarados, right? Like, unfortunately, basically, he's just way more flexible, way more solid right now. And I don't know what he's really doing for you. He could Thunder Wave, he
No,
could
I'm with
Taunt.
you.
Yeah. Ditto, he's just like, if there's no restricteds, he's just terrible. But when there's like Shadow Rider or something, he like is instantly there. But there are no Shadow Rider, so he's there. We can
I'm kind of with you, dude.
These guys are all bad. Ooh, Aerodactyl. Someone we did rate quite highly, and he has been performing incredibly well.
I feel like he exceeded my expectations. Even though he's exceeded though, is he S tier? Probably can't give it to him. I think I'm gonna say he's A tier, even though he's kind of pushing that boundary, and that alone is insane.
Yeah, he really is. I think he's probably the top of A. That's where I think he should sit. Is like he is clearly the best A tier Pokemon. He's performing so well. He provides Tailwind. He's so flexible. We're seeing Mega Aerodactyl pop off a ton recently as well. It's just a really good Charizard answer, and I think it's important. Like that alone just makes him like very good.
Yeah, it having like a number of different sets you can run on it is so interesting too. I obviously won the tournament with Wide Guard Aerodactyl, but just the standard dual wing beat set, Sash, Mega, Citrus, like there's a bunch of different sets you can run on Aerodactyl. Point is, it's just well placed in the format. There's so many threats that it can deal with offensively, and then Tailwind Wide Guard support is phenomenal.
Snorlax sucks.
Fortunately, I think yeah, it's like a C tier probably.
We're so generous to this guy. We're so generous to Snorlax for no reason.
He's so fat, dude. Okay, fine. You can put him in D.
Now, next up is a Pokemon that kind of surprised me. Just in the way that you use Mega Dragonite is just not. It's okay. It's definitely pretty solid, but I would say Mega Dragonite is B. But I think regular Dragonite in the current meta, he was looking really good, and I would argue that maybe he's even A.
I'm kind of with you, dude. This new Dragon Fang set is so strong. It just trades so well into everything. It also has access to Tailwind still, extreme speed, low kick, has all the coverage it wants. So I think we're gonna see this on different comps other than just those Gengar teams. Obviously, it was on the Frostless team as well. So I think Dragonite is just very good. A tier, I'm with you.
Yeah, and I think it Tailwind too can be really big. Multi-scale is such a great ability, especially with the fall of Incineroar. It's just a very consistent, good ability to have. Next up is Meganium.
This is tricky. I personally haven't
really
even
tricky.
given it much of a try.
Yeah.
What's up?
I said this one is like one of the really tricky ones.
I think it's B. I've seen enough good players do well with it to where like I believe it's usable, but I haven't given it a go, and it just seems so tricky in a Charizard Sneasler everywhere. But
Yeah.
it does a lot of damage. It creates a lot of nasty pins. So I think B is okay. What do you think?
I think so too. I think like you said, Charizard Sneasler are the big problems, but I do think as a double mega, like specifically I think of Aerodactyl immediately. I think it's got some potential. Like I do think it is pretty good. We've seen it do well in tournaments as well. That Weather Ball is so good. It matches up pretty solidly into both King Gambit and Basculegion as well. You do have to be a little bit afraid of like Last Respects and getting like checkmated by that. But other than that, I mean, it does do a lot of damage to a lot of the good Pokemon. It's just like I think we need to see the big Meganium team that does really well first.
Yeah, it's low key like a a sweeper, you know, in
Mm-hmm.
Tailwind or something.
Yeah, it
So
really is.
yeah,
This guy, he's Snorlax level if I had to put him.
yeah, C is pretty reasonable. I don't think it's
I think Gyarados is the
the
worst
King
of all.
Gambit's everywhere. It's just like whatever, dude.
Yeah, I think you can run him with Fargraph. There's ways you can make him work, but I just think he's kind of cheesy and kind of one-dimensional. I think that kind of holds him back. I think this guy's just D. I really haven't seen him do well on almost anything he does.
Yeah, he's just booty, dude. I mean, I think we don't need to think about it too much. It's just not very good.
Yeah, Gyarados though. Gyarados is legitimately a pretty good Pokemon, specifically because it's able to wall Sneasler. So Gyarados, I think he's like,
I think it's C.
I
I
think
think it's
he's
a
with
high
these
C.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's the top of C. Maybe I don't know. I think he's better than Water Toro. I think Water Toro sucks, dude.
I think he's still around here. I think
Yeah,
he's
he's
better than
probably right there.
Clefable. Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
I think that's
I
okay.
don't know. Yeah, I think Ariados is better than Clefable for sure, though. It just isn't cracking that B yet.
Yeah, it gets access to String Shot, which is just like an insane Icy Wind. It gets access to Rage Powder. It completely walls Sneasler's both of its stabs. So I feel like Gyarados is like, it has a really solid niche, and I mean, we've seen it do things. We've seen it succeed at the highest level. So I gotta say, it's probably just chilling in C.
I'm totally fine with that. But Ampharos, on the other hand, it's just disappointing on all fronts.
It's probably D though.
D for
Um,
disappointing, sure.
I think Azumarill is also a little disappointing. I think it's probably about the Snorlax range. I do think that you can do some Belly Drum stuff, but I don't know. I don't think it does enough damage. I don't know. I think it's usable for sure, but I think it's
I
C.
just think the Pokemon above it are so much better to where I'm like, I'm not even considering it really.
Yeah, it has a fairy typing, but it's just not super worth. I think
Yeah.
Politoed he's still probably pretty B ish.
I think he's B, probably lower end of B, where he's pretty
Yeah.
one-dimensional. Like, you usually just want a Perish Core. Other than that, like, Pelipper is just better.
Yeah, yeah. He's just like kind of hanging with him. I think he's a little better than C. I really do, but he is definitely bottom of B. We don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not even gonna ask your opinion on Steelix. Scizor. Scizor has been kind of spicy lately. Steel type that can do well into Floette. I think he's good. I think he's pretty solid. I think he's probably B though.
I think he's good in base form and in Mega. There's a
Nuance.
little bit of versatility there.
Hmm.
But, yeah, I don't know if he's A yet. I think he needs to prove himself a little bit more. B tier is very valid, but he's one I find promising. I'm optimistic about him.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic about him. I think he obviously is really good double mega. And like you said, sometimes you just don't need to mega him and you can just mega your other Pokemon and just let him be in that base form because he doesn't really need an item. And also, you can just run like Metal Coat. Scizor is very real as well.
Metal Coat, White Herb, there's just a bunch of random shit you can run on him.
I think Heracross is probably just D.
S? Oh, yeah.
I think he's D. Skarmory also, unfortunately, big D. This guy's terrible.
Big D.
Tyranitar,
Hot take, B tier.
I think he's B. Well,
It's not even a hot take. I think it's just a depressing take that he's not A tier.
I think honestly the best way to run him too a lot of the time is just as a mega. It seems like just as a really good consistent answer to Tyranitar is what he's really shining at.
He's a option. Wait, what did you say?
Or into Charizard. I said into Tyranitar, didn't I?
Yeah.
Into
Yeah, that's
Charizard, yeah.
true. I think he is important to enable his sand buddies,
Mhm.
but there's so much like hostility towards him with Sneasler, Chomp. So I feel like it's a little bit difficult to make him work or be as splashable, but B tier makes sense. Like maybe we should be running him non-mega though. Maybe he should just be like Trouble or something.
I do think there's probably some exploration because I feel like I very rarely see non-mega Tyranitar right now, and I think like it's still pretty good into Charizard, right? Like he can still just
Yeah.
swap in on it, but maybe he really is missing like his assault vest and stuff of that nature to make him a little bit like easier to switch on these big hits. Because like you said, item wise, maybe it is just Chople, but that feels kind of crazy.
It's a little silly.
Pelipper,
I think it's in a similar spot to the other weather guys. I think it's still in B tier,
yeah,
but dude, maybe we should move Politoed down to C. I think we should move Politoed down to C.
Politoed's definitely C. I think Pelipper is really good, but like you said, it's just like I think Pelipper itself is like a little bit less splashable, but it does enable all of its buddies. It's kind of like Tyranitar. Like Pelipper may not be B, but may not be A, but something like Arcaludon maybe could be with the help of Pelipper. Like it's a very important Pokemon, but it also just is kind of feels kind of mid.
Yeah, I mean, it has good tools. Obviously, its stabs are very strong,
Hmm.
good coverage in a Sneasler, but Tailwind Wide Guard very good too, and I don't think it needs its Sash as it has in other formats. So I think it's just how good are its partners? Basculegion, very good, but it doesn't need the rain.
Hmm.
Archaludon, we'll talk about a little bit later, but it's not as impressive as we thought it was going to be, so B tier feels like the right place for it.
I think another big thing, like you mentioned, is doesn't need its item. Like because there aren't electric type moves. So most of the time you can just get away with running citrus or mystic water. I've seen a lot of, and it does really, really well because it does get to cheat. Because I think Rotoms are the only electric types in the entire format, honestly.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I think
Gardevoir,
I think it's Scizor
or
level.
B.
I think it's Scizor
Yeah,
level. Like it
might be
has.
worse. I don't know.
I think it's probably a little worse than Scizor, but I think it's like it has this cool niche. It combats Floette like fairly, I
Kind of.
guess, kind of.
It's slower,
Um,
dude. It's slower.
it does some good damage with spread hyper voices. It has Trick Room, but I don't know. I think it's like you have to work really hard to make it succeed, and we've seen some players succeed with it, but I think it's just a little easier to succeed with Charizard than Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't like Charizard either. Sableye. I was gonna put him instantly in F, but he's actually kind of fucking good right now. He's kind of
I think
strong.
he's C because he's so one-dimensional, but like he, I'm kind of viewing him as like Tatsugiri level, not level, but like where he's like he only does one thing. Like he's basically an Archaludon like partner, right?
Right.
But he's very good at that, and I think that duo is very strong. So I think just giving him C on that like note, like Encore, Disable, Rain Dance, or Screens or whatever, he's pretty pesky.
Yeah, and I think also like the C tier to me is like all of these Pokemon can win tournaments. It's just that they need the perfect team, right? Like you said, he's a great partner for Archaludon and he enables him greatly. But after that, it's like, but could he win a tournament? Totally. Like I think that team is really good, especially right now. Um, Aggron, I think he's unfortunately D. The wall is not. He's not really chilling.
I want him to be C, but I haven't really even tried him. Like I don't know.
I've never felt super threatened by him. I think he's definitely usable. Like he's more usable than
He's just
these
too easy
guys,
to
but
deal with. I feel
I
like
think like Heracross and Skarmory could be used as well. But like, are they out of D? Probably not. That
I'm
guy's
okay with
bad.
that. Just F. Manectric's probably C tier.
I think he's kind of cool. Intimidate's very strong. Volt Switch is very cool. I mean, Intimidate can be strong. It can be kind of a
Volt Switch
bad.
is sick, dude, and Speed tier's phenomenal.
Its speed tier's incredible. 205 is pretty sick. I think he is C. I think like we could see him, but he's just kind of eh.
Sharpedo's in the game?
Yeah, dude, Torpedo's actually kind of D. Um, he's kind of
Okay.
he's kind of like he's kind of usable. I've seen some people use him mainly because speed boost is awesome, and also he gets access to icy wind. So he like kind of has a niche. He's also a dark type. He does a lot of damage. I guess I saw a lot of it was more early meta. Um, he's D though. I think he's fun in a close sheet best of one. He could be super usable.
He's probably
Um,
D with his buddy Camera up tier.
Yeah, can't interrupt this. He's so one-dimensional. I just don't think it's even worth it. Like, I even think the hard trick room teams are better off just using Torkoal as the sweeper because you
Except for
don't
Mega,
have to
yeah.
use a Mega, right? Like, I'd rather run like Torkoal Abominable or like Torkoal Kang than using this guy as the sweeper.
No, definitely. I just think he's like, it's just never worth it. Like it dies to Aqua Jet probably, right? So
Yeah. Torkoal honestly is like low-key kind of C.
yeah, I think he's interesting. Like there could be some really impressive team that's made
Mhm.
where someone kind of unlocks the hard trick room teams, and it feels like it's higher than that. But at the end of the day, Torkoal isn't being used that much. Charizard does its job for it, so I
Yeah.
think C is really fair.
I think the thing too is like in the past when we've used Torkoal, it was when he's enabling like really strong sun sweeping Pokemon, and a lot of the time those Pokemon are very fast. So I think like Torkoal is going to be out of a job as long as Charizard is in the game. So yeah, I think this guy's just way easier. Dude, even on hard trick room teams, he like is used. So it's like I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just okay.
How do you feel about Altaria having used it yourself?
Yeah, I think it's D tier.
No,
But
dude, it gets Wisp.
oh, you're right. I totally forgot. No, I didn't. I still think it's D. But that video and that team was so. If you haven't seen it, you better check it out because it's literally like it was just pure entertainment, and it was low key good. Like that's the only reason it's not F tier to me.
Milotic. I think Milotic has been. I think Milotic's a B. Milotic's been kind of. It's been doing well. It's been kind of on and off.
Yeah, it had a really good stretch, and now it's calmed down again. But I think it's one of those Pokemon where, like, if it's on the right team, Hypnosis is just so hard to stop that, and it's enough to just win games on its own, right? Like, it becomes a formidable force where it's hard to kill, it's putting you to sleep. I think it's earned its spot in B.
Yeah, and I think it is pretty solid. It's just that there just aren't a lot of Instant or Intimidate, so like it doesn't really have an ability. It's still a cool ability, and I think it can like kind of guarantee that, like, for example, like Charizard X or Scizor, right? Like if you have it next to them, they can make sure they're not intimidated. But at the same time, he's just not a very popular Pokemon. Like Instant is just not everywhere that this Pokemon's popping off.
Yeah.
We can do Cast Form real quick. Banette.
We should. Yeah, sure.
I mean, I've seen some shenanigans with it where they run Poltergeist and then they also have Priority Trick Room. Well, Trick Room, and then they also have Destiny Bond, so they can set up these like
What do you mean
stupid.
priority trick room? That doesn't change anything.
I know they well technically does. It goes up to +6, but
Yeah. -6.
but yeah. So I don't know. I've played against Trick Room Bannettes on ladder, and I find it annoying, but it is probably just the Chimecho.
I've seen people run it instead of Sableye. You just turn rain dance.
How do you feel about Chimecho?
I don't know what it does at all.
I've never seen it, so an Absol's ass.
Why would you put it in D and not F?
Oh, you're right. I mean, yeah, I think the issue with it is that it can set up Trick Room, but I don't.
It's looking Medicham.
Yeah, it's looking Medicham. It's looking Banette.
Slowbro.
I think it's like the same
Poison.
tier. This guy explodes, but he's probably just F. I didn't.
Let's just rapid fire, dude, until low bunny. Like,
Are
what
these
is
guys
this?
in the game?
Yes.
Are you for real?
Yes. I played all of them, I think. It's
Empoleon.
acceptance
Dude,
for them?
Empoleon low-key D, though. Low-key D was competitive.
Yeah. Empoleon D. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Roserade. Dude, this guy is low-key D, too. He can do a lot of damage. Yeah.
Okay. Low bunny, maybe C?
I think so. I was a little bit more hyped on it before the game came out, but once we've actually had access to the game and we've played a lot, I just don't think it's that great. I think it's too frail. It's just not worth. I think I'd rather use Kang, to be honest. I really thought this guy would replace Kang or be more useful, but I don't know. Kang can scrappy fake out too.
I think it's just where it's always been, where it's like on a hyper offense team, it could
Yeah.
work, but otherwise it's just like so frail, it's so ass.
Spirit Tomb is, dude, they gave it Trick Room and it's still ass. Ooh, Garchomp time.
Finally a good Pokemon. You think it's S? I'm like kind of torn between A or S. Like I just think there's a tier of Pokemon above it, but at the end of the day, it is Garchomp.
I think he's probably bottom, but I do think I see where you're coming from, where like Aerodactyl and Garchomp are really, really good. They're great Pokemon, but there are Pokemon, like you said, that are better than them, where they're not really the same level. They're a slight, like little knockdown. So I'm kind of with you. I kind of see him as top of A or bottom of S. I think he's a little bit better than Aerodactyl, but I think they're pretty close in terms of how strong they are.
Yeah, Chomp usage stats wise is like always top 3. So clearly people think he's that guy. And I think he is just so good. But he's there. I feel like there are certain Pokemon in the format that are absolutely broken. And Garchomp is like a little bit more manageable than those ones.
Yeah, I think of him as like a very good like trader, right? Like he can trade really well with almost any Pokemon. There's very few Pokemon that are going to actually one-shot him. Like obviously he's 4 times weak to ice, but if he's not fighting against Frostlass or Ninetales, Floette, he like is going to live any hit you throw at him. So in that regard, he's really, really good. He does a lot of damage back. Usually he can win the trade with his speed or with his damage. But yeah, I think he's probably still A. I only good things to say about the GOAT, but in these formats, dude, Garchomp is always the beacon of strength, dude. Lucario, he sucks,
Not
dude.
so much.
He sucks bad.
You can put him in D, bro.
Okay, I can put him in D. Hippowdon also, I mean, he has weather, but I forgot this guy was in
These
there.
guys just don't matter, bro.
I'll put him in D. Weavile, low key
We
C.
got definitely low key C.
Low
Yeah.
key C for sure. I think it's like,
Or Rhyperior also low key C. Not to jump the gun, but
yeah, sure.
Weavile just being good into Basque Chomp and just being really fast, kind of good.
Yeah, and I think also it outspeeds Sneasler and can KO with triple axle, which is kind of neat. Or I think it does. It gets pretty close. I think it's definitely it's a cool pick.
Fake
It gets
out,
fake
obviously
out.
good. Faint Encore, like it has really scary options, especially in best of one. So I think Weavile, it's usable.
It's just so frail. Rhyperior kind of the opposite, where he is really bulky and slow, but in Trick Room he can kind of pop off. I think he is like a ground type in Trick Room's good. I don't think he's
You're the
more than
Rhyperior
that.
expert. So.
Yeah, I mean, I actually did test him a little bit in Champions. I'm not gonna lie, I've played a couple games with him, and he's not too bad. I think having like high horsepower and Earthquake are pretty good. Stab Rock Slide can be good, but he does struggle a little bit into like Basque Legion specifically. I think he's also very like pigeonholed into playing him one way. Like there's not much he can do, but in the sun with Solid Rock, he can live a lot of hits. So I do think he's got a place. He's not D tier. He's usable for sure.
Yeah, he's got a role carved out.
Low key Glaceon. You think it's C or D?
It's probably D.
Yeah, I think Glaceon's a little better
I
than
don't
all
know.
his
Now I'm
buddies.
like, why is Azu in C if Glaceon isn't?
I think Gliscor is the same level of like these guys are all like usable in their own way, but it's just kind of not worth it most of the time. Is Mamoswine
Mamo
C?
C tier though.
You think I think he's probably around these guys, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think,
Gyarados needs to go lower for sure.
he's probably as good as Clefable, dude. I don't know. These guys, like, everything after, like, honestly, everything after Arcanine to me is like,
All similar. Yeah. I mean, Mamoswine is cool because you can threaten Garchomp. The actual ice coverage is nice, but I think he's just lacking. Like, if he had a little bit more damage, if he could one-shot Garchomp without, I mean, if he could one-shot Garchomp, he would be so sick.
with Shard.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he just isn't fully there, so it just makes him like he just doesn't do enough. I think maybe Scarf Mamoswine, but then I don't know.
Being weak to Sneasler and Basque also just sucks.
Yeah, he's cool, but he's just missing a little bit extra bulk, extra speed, extra damage. That if he had one of those, it would put him over the top, but he doesn't. Gallade's pretty D. Losing
your Pokemon.
You think Gallade's C?
Yeah, it's about as good as Gyarados, dude. I feel like he could work on these Trick Room comms.
I guess, but it does lose access to Clear Amulet, which I mean, I guess you could. You could run Scopelins, you could run a crit one. Frostless is probably around tier, right?
I think it's A tier.
You think it's A? You think it's that good?
Yeah, it's better than Kangaskhan in my opinion. I think Mega Frostless is really good.
I guess Mega Frostless, like, it does, like, I feel like Charizard and Floette are just, like, a tier above. And then the other Megas are all just kind of, like, there. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, you can use any of them. They might not win, but they're all like, super usable. You're right, Frostless is, like, I mean, dare
It's
I say
like
number
third best
3?
Mega, pretty much.
Yeah. I think it's a little better than Gengar sometimes.
Yeah, I think this is pretty safe to say, at least right now, until Gengar proves itself more. But being able to set up the weather, Veil, those fast, strong blizzards, I think it's really strong. I mean, it just got second in the biggest tournament ever, so I have good things to say about Frostless.
I agree with you. I agree. This guy's bad. Put the fridge there. That guy's terrible. Motom is low-key, I don't think usable. I don't think he's super worth it. Being weak to poison actually sucks.
And I'm a Motom fan, dude. I got top 4 in IC with Motom. Wait, no, I didn't. I got top cut at regional with it. I love him. He's just not. It's not his time. But I'm Heat. Yeah, he's probably B or C. I think he's B. He's B.
I think the electric typing alone is kind of nice because there's none of it that I think like it's kind of worth it. But being weak to Basque Legion, the guy you want to hit with electric moves, does suck a little bit. I feel like the Rotoms have been going a little bit down. They've been trending downward a little bit, but that doesn't mean that they're not like usable and viable.
Yeah, I think Rotom Wash is actually still A tier. I think the Pokemon's very good. I think Will-O-Wisp is good, Electroweb's good, its typing is phenomenal, being able to hit Basque Legion so hard is good. And there's a little bit of versatility. You can really go the bulky set with Citrus, or you can go Scarf. I still really like just where he's positioned in the format.
Yeah, I think Rotom's been really, really good. Yeah, I mean, you touched on all of his great parts. I also think he is just the best electric type, and having that ability to press electric moves feels awesome. So he's really surprised me. He's bulky enough in this format. He can hang with the big guns, so I think he's pretty good. Definitely A.
Yeah.
Superior, we don't need to talk about Embor, dude. I haven't seen him in game yet.
Yeah, no.
That one's bad. This one is like, I don't want to say it's C, but like low-key it kind of is. If you Scarf it, you can make it interact with Basket Legion in a good
The
way.
Baskin King Gambit, bro.
Yeah, it gets Sacred Sword. Like, I think it is, if we're going to say Galade's here, he's probably here too.
Galade can go down a D, bro.
Okay, that's what I thought. This guy's still, he's just barely in C. He's the bottom of C no matter what the bottom is. He's cool.
I mean, C2 Pokemon are not that good. I think it's fine to say.
Ooh, the GOAT, dude. Low key, he can go in D. Oh, the monkeys. People
It
have
feels
been.
wrong to have Samurai on the same tier as Torkoal, but it's kind of true, huh?
I mean, I think Torkoal's biggest issue is Charizard. I think like Torkoal would, if Charizard wasn't in the game, I think like he might move up more. You know what I mean? Like it's just that.
No, I'm okay with this.
I think Torkoal's just, this is the weakest he's been in like 10 years, man, or whatever. Or not 10, 6 years.
Yeah, you're right.
How do you feel about the monkeys? Do you think Simpor's got the sauce? It's very fast. It gets icy wind. I think it's probably D. It's a little better than the other monkeys.
I see people making noise about it. I have no idea what they do. Like, I'm just like, I
Just
just
fake
don't
out,
get it.
flip turn. I don't know what it's supposed to
See his
do.
other Pokemon.
You think he's C? Or you
He's
think
right
he's
next
B?
to his buddy, dude. He's right next to his buddy.
T-Tar?
Yeah, I think he's this. They're kind of next to each other. I think Exca's very good because of Floette. And just being fast and being able to hit like King Gambit and Sneasler makes it pretty good. I just think he's glued to T-Tar.
He also does like, he breaks the speed, the speed ceiling. He's just faster than every Pokemon in the game. So you're not wrong. He doesn't need that setup. He also can Rock Slide flinch you. Yeah, I guess he is glued to T-Tar. It feels weird that he's better than Pelly.
Pretty good.
Dino, no.
I mean,
you're gonna talk about
Conk
Dino?
is like. No. I was saying the ordering isn't like have to be perfect here. Like I think it's just like generally what feels right. Like I think Pelipper's better than Excadrill. Maybe, I don't know. I think it doesn't matter.
You think Conk's D or C? I think he might be D.
I think he's D, dude. I don't think he's good. I wanted him to be good. There's no Flame Orb. There's no Assault Vest. What is he doing here, dude? He's lost.
I think if we had more items, he would have definitely like even just Life Orb, dude. If he could just smack people with Mach Punch.
With Mach Punch?
Yeah, or like just even be a Trick Room Sweeper with Life Orb, I think he would have a lot more potential, but he doesn't do enough damage. He doesn't have access to Guts. Iron Fist is okay. It's just not it. Wims.
Yeah.
Wims is an interesting
Wims
one.
is B tier. I think it's a little bit underused right now.
I agree.
But obviously he's so susceptible to so many of the top threats. I just think it's so easy to throw Focus Sash, be very annoying with Tailwind Encore, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting with how Tailwind's worked out, because Aerodactyl has become the best Tailwind user, which is crazy.
So funny.
But I think like having priority Tailwind does give him a niche. Just being able to act before Aerodactyl is a really big deal, because now they have to play a certain way. They have to potentially go after. They have to set up Tailwind too, and now you're threatening an Encore pin. It can be really, really nice. But yeah, I think
coverage is so good too.
He's just not very splashable, and I think you really do have to build your team to really utilize him. So, but I do think he's Wims. He's always pretty good. Priority Encore is stupid. Pouring out for the GOAT, dude. D.
Yeah.
We don't need to touch on that one. We can touch on this guy. I think Zoroark is kind of interesting. I think
he's upper C, yeah.
I think he's
like Politoed tier.
You think he's Politoed tier? Yeah, I could say. I mean, he was on the team with the Arcanine. He gets cool moves. He walls Sneasler. He also, if Basket Legion locks in, he's a normal type, which I think having a normal type on any team is valuable. So I think he does have a lot going for him that is pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, you said it. Like, I just think being normal type is very good. Its ability is cool.
Yeah.
Speed tier is pretty good. I just think you have to build a crazy team with it. So
yeah,
if you're not the Hodge brothers, might be a little bit hard. But if you are, I'm excited, dude. I think it can work. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is. I think he is relatively solid. I do believe in Zoroark. Then next up we have Reuniclus. Awful. I think Vanillix low key,
Low key B, low
low
key
key
C,
C, low key C, low key C. Because here's the thing:
fast.
it outspeeds Basculation by 1. You can run a Scarf
Yeah,
on it. Gets access to Freeze Try.
it's very strong.
It gets Weather. It's usable at the least. I don't think it's like, dude, you should be using him as much as you use Rotom. Hell no. I think he's at the bottom, but I think he's got a spot.
Do you remember 2017? Like the beginning of the format, it was
Yes,
everywhere.
yes. People were trying to make because he got access to Hail.
Yeah.
Ooh, dude, I didn't know he was in the game at all. Sure.
Shandy's like D.
Chandelier is like hard D, man. That one's rough.
Yeah, Stunfisk and Stunfisk's idiot.
Yeah, his brother. I don't even want to. I don't want to waste time on him.
Yeah.
Golurk low key D too. I think he's definitely not like unplayable.
PC, but yeah.
If we're gonna we'll put him next to Vanillix, he's like playable. I think his Unseen Fist, like I think if Unseen Fist wasn't nerfed, he would be really strong and he'd be
Yeah,
very
it'd be way
potent.
better, bro.
But like at the same time, like because it is nerfed, I think he's just okay. He's got some cool moves, but yeah.
I think it's time for him to come back because Instin's kind of missing right now.
True, maybe it's time. What do you think of Hydreigon? He's really weird. I think he's probably just
I think he's low-key B. I think he's low-key B.
low key B. Okay.
He's very strong into a lot of these Charizard comps. Like, for example, the team that I was using, I think on that Sand team, he's super annoying for Scarf Basculegion. He's just supported so well by Yeah, supported so well with Excadrill, so I think he's low key B.
I agree with that. I don't think he's like super incredible, and I think he's difficult to use. But at the same time, like there aren't a ton of fairies. There are fairies, and you do have to make sure you deal with them, but they're not everywhere. So, sure, he can be there. Sniping Basculation is sick. Volcarona, dude. I think Volcarona's like kind of bad, but it's like probably C. But I've never seen it like pop off or do anything cool.
It's kind of sad. It's just there's so much hate for it. It catches all the Charizard, you know. There's a lot of Rock Slide, and he's just not good enough to justify.
Yeah, Chestnut just not even playable, man. We haven't even seen him.
Right.
Delphox.
I'm a big believer, but I still think you kind of have to put him in B. Like, I feel like he hasn't proven himself yet. I feel like people need to figure him out. There's just Basculegion King Gambit everywhere, right?
Yeah, I also think like it's definitely fallen. I think we might have said A originally, but I think it's probably like it's definitely like a little bit. It's probably Scizor tier. I could see it.
I'd probably put it a little higher. I'd probably put it like by Ninetales.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Well,
I think
Ninetales.
it needs to be figured out a little bit more. I think that's its issue. I
Yeah.
think it has a lot of good tools, but I think unfortunately right now it's not showing. Greninja, Loki D, Diggersby. Didn't know he was in the game.
Yeah, he's got a huge power, right? But
He does have huge powder. I think Talon is.
what, dude? You're crazy for
You think
putting
he's
him
B?
C. I think he's the B or A. Yeah, he's so good. It's priority Tailwind.
Yeah,
it
he's
hits
good. He's pretty
Sneasler.
good. He's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say he's better than Whimsicott right now. You don't
Yeah.
agree?
Yeah, I agree with you. No, he is. I think being able to one-shot Sneaser's lit because again, they don't run Focus Sash, so like a lot of the talents have just swapped off of Dual Wing Beat, which is just kind of a bad move. Obviously, Aerodactyl, he's got to ride that one out till the end of time, but he does get Acrobatics, which is really good, and he also gets Brave Bird, both of which I think are better than Dual Wing Beat. So I think that he's solid. Priority Tailwind. Funnily enough, not that he's good into Aerodactyl, but he kind of functions the same way Wims does, right? Where like Aerodactyl can kill Whimsicott if it presses Dual Wing Beat, but if it presses Dual Wing Beat, that means it's not pressing Tailwind. So sometimes like baiting them into the Rock Slide can just be like it's a worthy trade. And then it's a worthy trade if they don't kill you because now you have a priority Acrobatics or Brave Bird. So I do think he's pretty cool. He's got a lot of nuance to him. I feel like he's falling a little bit for sure. Like he's trending downward, but he's still a good Pokemon.
Yeah, I think he's still just good enough with the priority Tailwind and then stuff like Blitz or Will-O-Wisp. He's just got enough usage or usefulness to stay in that B tier.
I thought this Pokemon would be better,
Really?
dude. I thought it'd be better.
I think it's pretty scary. I just think sleep is not as good as it used to be, right? So it
Yeah.
makes it a lot worse. Frangard isn't really a set you run on it. Usually compound eyes, hurricane, so I think it's just okay right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like nerfing sleep just is like, I'll trade with it. I don't care.
Yeah, it's not the best Tailwind Center, so we're
Um,
here, we're here. We got a second S tier
we
Pokemon.
do. Sloet is definitely very, very good. The famed pay to win Pokemon that everyone's frustrated about. I do think though that I'm not gonna say it's not S and it's not extremely, extremely strong, but it just feels like people are figuring out ways to deal with it. And they're just holding it back. Like they're still beating it. They do have to commit a lot of tools to it and it is taxing, but it's not winning.
I think it's so hard though. I think it's so scary where if you just get the
Yeah.
turn wrong, like you lose. Like everyone's pretty reliant on their Sneasler, which most people have. So I think people might figure out like how to make this guy even better. I think the lack of Assault Vest, it being just broken ass fairy, has fairy aura. It's so hard to truly counter, and it obviously gets to run 5 partners. So S tier for sure. I feel like we both agree on that.
Oh, 100%. I do. I was just bashing on it, but it is just like I think like my favorite way to use it and the way you use it too is just like it just does a lot of damage. Like I'm not trying to set up. I'm just trying to click the fairy moves as much as I can, and it just feels like it trades better than any other Mega or any other Pokemon. So
Yeah, but it's still not one dimensional, so you have to be ready for like all the sets.
you do. Um, it's kind of funny that this guy's in the game, but yeah, this one's terrible. Same with that guy. No, I'm not even gonna waste my brain power.
Oh.
I'm just gonna get rid of a few more. Let's talk about Age Slash.
Age Slash,
He's B,
to
right?
me, I think it might be A, dude. I think Poltergeist, Shadow Sneak, Fighting Coverage, Iron Head, all of it, it's so annoying to play against. It's another
It is.
Pokemon where if you get a turn wrong, you just leave it alone. It stays in Blade form, you can lose the game. I think it is just stupid amounts of damage from a Pokemon you don't expect, and it's one of the only things that can switch in on Floette.
It's true. I think defensively, it's amazing. Like it really can. It can switch in on anything. It can take any. Like it's very difficult to one shot this thing. So it is able to so easily trade into you and just deal a ton of damage back. Um, yeah, he just Slash is really good. He completely walls Sneasler. He puts a ton of pressure on the Basket Legion. And also, like you mentioned with the fighting coverage, I think fighting coverage is kind of the wave right now. And that just makes it have an option into King Gambit as well.
Yeah, especially that Culverberry set that Michael
Mhm.
Derbeste used. I feel like Age Slash is finding a way to kind of beat its ops. Like, I
Mhm.
think it just trades super, super well. For me, that's enough reason to put in A.
I agree. I agree. He's definitely as strong as like Rotom Wash level. Like these two. I mean, I think Dragonite's. He can go there. Heliolisk low key.
Loki,
He's kind of
D
C.
tier.
You think D?
I mean, it's just, yeah, it's a C tier Pokemon, I guess. It walls Basque Legion, that makes it good enough.
Yeah.
It's just frail and dude, it's a fucking Heliolisk, you know?
I think Aurora's is kind of bad. Hot take.
Hot
Um,
take. Sylveon's B.
it's definitely pretty strong. I think one of the big things that Sylveon has going for it is like it's not Floette, which it means it's not a mega, which I think is the best part about
Yeah.
Sylveon is like it's just the best fairy type that's not a mega. So it has insane value. Like it's worth putting on teams. It's also pretty easy to fit on teams. A lot of teams are just praying for a spread fairy Pokemon. Hell yeah, I'll slam that on my team. I think it's definitely rising in terms of its popularity, and I think it's just pretty good. I think it's a good pick.
I think there's two reasons why it's not A is one, I think some people use it because they don't have Floette. Okay. The other is like its defenses just suck. Like even if you
Yeah.
don't invest in speed because you don't have to, it's just hard to live that Dire Claw. Like I feel like that's the main problem for it. Where if it had a little bit more defense, a little bit more HP, it would be so much better in the format. It's still good enough to where it is definitely definitively a B tier Pokemon.
All right, Halucha. I mean, D. Not great. He's funny.
Yeah. There's really
Uh,
not much to say. I feel like some of these, like, actually, we got a good streak here of Pokemon that are just really unmemorable.
Klefki. think he's
it's
D.
like C, D, DC.
I
Yeah,
think it's D. It's just not really being used. This guy's horrible. We got these guys. The table.
dude, the three core guys
Low
are
key
all
D, I
smart.
guess. That one's bad. This one's probably D.
Yeah, D. I will see that one. I always think it's shiny. It's time.
The goat. Where do you think he's at?
I feel like we're not allowed to put it in B tier, even though it kind of feels like it.
I don't know if we are, but I do agree with you. Like, I think
Let's
he's
just put it at the bottom of A, dude. That
yeah.
feels right.
He's still good. He still can
He's gonna
enable
bounce
things.
back. He's gonna bounce back.
He's gonna bounce back. But as of right now, he's not bouncing anywhere, dude. He's just chilling in the box. Like he's just I don't know. I think part of it is just like obviously once we talk about King Gambit, Basculegion, Sneasler, the big three, he does just not like playing any of them. Like he's okay into them in a way. Like he hits King Gambit super effectively, but he procs
He hits
Defiant.
all of them for good damage.
Yeah, but then Sneasler has Wider, Basculegion is a ghost type, can't be faked out, does a lot of damage back, can flip turn off of you. It just feels not great. And I think those three alone have just pushed him down a little bit. But I never want to count him out. I think he's still really incredible, especially on Gengar teams specifically. He can be just a nuisance. But I think that's where he's shining the most right now. So I definitely think he's still an A, specifically just because of the Gengar teams. But I do think in general, he's a little bit weaker. He can enable flow up with Calm Mind as well. I think that's a pretty common strat. But yeah, I don't know. He just doesn't feel like a necessity. He's still very good though.
He's not what he once was, and I think it's honestly entirely because of Sneasler. I think he could handle King Gambit and Bask otherwise. Like Cage
Yeah.
is just not even that good into it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Defiant's amazing, but Instant can kind of hold his own. I think he's gonna find a way to just be that guy again, not S tier, like maybe not on every team, but we've learned our lesson. He's been around long enough to where like, dude, he's gonna figure it out.
He'll figure it out. He'll find a way, dude. Especially because I think part of it too is at this point he's so embedded in like most, I would say like top builders, like play styles and teams that they're always like, dude, should we try to make him work again? Like we can make him, we can figure it out. Like Instant could be good here. So he's never just like out of.
He's too useful, dude.
Yeah, he's way too. He's got too much going for him that he's always there. Primarina. I'm just gonna toss that one in there real quick. Primarina, low key, probably. I'm struggling
It's a
here.
high C, maybe B.
I think it's a low B. I think it's a low B. I think similar to
low B as well.
Sylveon. They're very similar in a way. Like they both suppress Hyper Voice, but one is a Water type. But having the Fairy coverage is still amazing for it. But again, like you mentioned, the Sneasler is such an issue that it does hold it back quite a bit.
Yeah, again, it's bulk. No, I think it's B tier. I think you can put it. I think its bulk isn't good enough. Because Sneasler is everywhere, but it has a niche that it can win you games on its own. It does damage. It's very scary in Trick Room, especially.
Yeah.
Being able to one shot Guard Chomp. So I think B is like reasonable for it.
The Crab, low key D. He's actually he's like an okay Trick Room sweeper. Like I'd rather use him over Canerupt.
Yeah, I could make an argument for C, but like it's fine.
Low key D on the muds. Araquanid, I haven't seen him. I forget he's in the game, but D.
He's bad. Serena, I think, is definitely at least C tier.
Definitely at least. I think Serena's actually in like this has been one of its better spots in my opinion, right? Like I mean it literally
It's rising.
paired with these three, it makes sense. But I think like having the ability to low kick King Gambit is awesome. It's a grass type, which they're very little of, and just blocking all priority, whether it's King Gambit, whether it's Fake Out, like it's useful. It's not a bad Pokemon. It has a lot of good things going for it right now, and Triple Axle. It can one shot Garchomp.
Yeah, it's a legitimate threat and kill, and just kind of hits all the popular Pokemon for super effective damage, and gets rid of like Sucker Punch threats, Jet threats, Queenly Majesty, very strong ability.
Salazzle, Oranguru. Oh, Oranguru's Passimian.
Mimi is solid.
Mimi is
I'd
okay.
give it a B tier.
I think again it's like that fairy typing, but then also at the same time disguise is pretty sick. I feel like we've only really seen it with Joe's team for the most part, but maybe there's some more room for Mimi.
Yeah, maybe I'm being generous because it did so good on that team, but I think Shadow Sneak's just really strong.
Yeah, I agree. And also, like, trading with it is so difficult. So, like, I don't want to count Mimikyu out at all yet. I do think it's a very um, niche Pokemon, though. It's very hard to slam around. Um, Slam on the teams. Drampa, Loki sucks. Not great.
All the
Um,
teams. Um, Como, I think it's B tier. It's having a tough time kind of competing with these
yeah.
against these Floettes, but I think it it can be made to work. And if the opponent doesn't have a Floette, it feels so strong.
It feels incredible. When they don't have a Floette, it feels incredible. But you're right, like Floette can be annoying. You do have to be very careful around that. And depending on Floette's popularity, right, like it just makes him so much worse. But he had a really good start, and I still think he does have a pretty good like. He's a good niche. I like Como a lot. I've played a lot of games with him, and I think when he gets going, dude, he goes crazy mode with Klingoria's Soul.
Yeah, just being good in the KG Basque,
Yeah,
Chomp in certain situations, Charizard.
Charizard. Yeah,
He's definitely Pokemon to watch out for.
Corviknight. I think he's low key C, but I think he's so good with the Sand Boys that like he's probably B because of that. Like with Mimikyu, like I think he is. I think the Sand team really does push because I think Corviknight's biggest issue is Charizard, right? But he's so good in a Garchomp. He's so good in a Floette, Aerodactyl, Frostlass. Even like these Pokemon, he can all, not him, but he can trade well with all of them and like at least set up Tailwind for his buddies. That I think he's a very useful Pokemon.
Yeah, he is a little bit one-dimensional, but his
Mhm.
typing's so good. And every time I'm like, oh, he's not as good as these B guys. I take a look at the C tier Pokemon. I'm like, well, no, he's definitely better than those, though.
Yeah, and I think he does. I mean, like he is kind of paired with Tyranitar right now, but I think Corviknight is good. He also is good in Floette.
Yeah,
He's one of those Pokemon that can actually switch into it, which is kind of nice.
exactly.
We can do those kind of quick. This guy isn't in the game, by the way. These two, for whatever reason, are not in the game, and I don't know why they're on this tier list. But, anyways, Hatterene like low
Loki
key
C,
C.
we saw it on a hard, like, I guess, I don't know if you'd call it hard TR. It probably was, but with Charizard.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's fairy type, can set up Trick Room, very strong offensively, just like it isn't doing much on most teams.
I think the thing is too is if you actually I actually looked at this the other day, there aren't a lot of psychic types. And so being
Yeah.
able to have that typing can be kind of nice, but yeah, that's not gonna help it anyway. It's still C. Mr. Rhyme, Rodriguez, low kilo creamy's like at least D, but not great. No. um,
I like when you're making these executive decisions between D and F.
Dragapult. He's weird. I think he's like bottom of C. I think he's really underexplored. I think he has some really cool things going for it, most notably Psychic Fangs to one-shot Sneasler. He's cool, but I just don't know, dude. He's so fast. He should be good. He outspeeds Basque, but not having access to a strong ghost move just sucks.
He's one of those guys where it's like he should be good. I want to see him
So
succeed,
much
but he's
potential.
just not right now, and he's kind of just faltering to these King Gambits.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think like I believe he's not C. I don't want to put him in C or in D. I mean, I think he's C.
He's definitely not D. He's easily C, but I want him to be B.
I want him to be. I want him to be B, but he just hasn't shown it yet. Cleaver's low key, like he's low key D, but he could be in C. But I don't really want to give him that.
Yeah, he hasn't earned it.
Oh shit, dude, it's him, dude. It is
Problem with
him.
format.
My hot take. It's not even a hot take, dude. I think he's the best Pokemon in the game. He's so good.
Dude, he's absolutely just diabolical. He's easily the best Pokemon in the game. Last
He's
respects,
so good.
it's stupid. The devs should have thought about this. He's not unstoppable in most formats, but in this one, it just feels so silly when he comes in and just clicks the last respects.
It really does, and I think like the entire meta is being warped around him. I think like a lot of the Pokemon that are good have positive interactions with him or enable him in some way, and it just feels like the craziest part is that even on a Sun team, he's one of the best Pokemon on the Sun team, right? Like
Yeah,
even when and three of his moves are Water type moves. Literally just that one move, last respects, is just too good, and it just puts him over the top, dude. He's chilling at S, and he's the best Pokemon in the game.
Yeah, and I feel like it's really hard to stop them. There's not a lot of good grass and electrics. Like you
Yeah.
kind of relying on King Gambit or Charizard Solar Beam. It's just like finding other ways to kill it. So I think it's just gonna stay there too.
The crazy part too is that like he's so versatile. Like a lot of the Pokemon, I think specifically in this format, do feel like they have one good set and they kind of just stick to that one. He's got like four. Like you can run his resist berries, you can run citrus, you can run sash, you can run scarf, you could run mystic water in the rain if you really wanted to. I probably wouldn't, but he's just so, no matter where you put him, no matter what move set he's running, he's just good.
He fits on every team.
Yeah, he does. He's the best water type. He's the best ghost type. He's awesome. This one's just like, I mean, it's like okay. It's like usable,
That's low
but
key kind of good. I would put it C.
low key kind of good is crazy. You think it's actually low key kind of good?
Dude, it does stupid damage. It also gets
It
adaptability.
does. It does. Yeah. It's just the special version. Oh shit. And we got Sneasler. We're back.
Our S tier is looking pretty good.
We're starting to
It's
round it
almost
out.
completed.
Yeah. I think Sneasler is just so it kind of saves the format and ruins the format at the same time. Like it is so
That's
good.
perfect.
It
You've said it perfectly.
it holds back a lot of the really annoying evil Pokemon that would be more absurd without it. But at the same time, it's 50% usage, man, and having to deal with like it's a fast fake out, fast fighting, and a really really offensive poison type, which is very rare in Pokemon to be honest. And I think that's why Sneasler is so good, is that it has this really strong, consistent physical poison move in Dire Claw. Like it doesn't even need the Hacks chance. It's just a good move because of that, and it just fills a niche that no other Pokemon can.
Yeah, I definitely wish it didn't have Unburden and that Dire Claw wasn't still like
Yeah.
having those secondary effects. But even without that, it is so strong. Forms a crazy little trio or just like synergy with Basculegion, King Gambit, pretty much any Pokemon. But like you said, it holds everything together. You need it to threaten Floette. You need it to threaten King Gambit. And fake out support is just so nice. I mean, there's not enough time to talk about why Sneasler's the GOAT.
Also, one thing we didn't talk about is White Herb, and I feel like that part is huge as well because it makes it immune to Intimidate, but also it can self-proc its own White Herb with close combat, and then it has no drawbacks. And the Pokemon are just it's just bulky enough that it's hard to KO in the format, right? Like you have to two-hit it, and then if it's two-hitting, it's just hitting you with the close combat and Dire Claw, and you're feeling really bad.
Yeah, its attack stat's huge. It's 135, so it's doing
Yeah.
meaningful damage, and it's so fast, especially with that Unburden. It's like
It's just too good,
it's
man.
honestly just a menace.
Yeah, and also White Herb is an item that no one wants, so it's really easy to just throw it on it.
Give it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so good. And it can run Sash. But Escarado low-key kind of bad. I thought it'd be a little better, but no. Yeah, I think it's D.
You don't even think it's C. Wow.
It's low-key C, low-key C,
It's
but
really
it's
tier, dude.
it's not great. Next up is Skeledirge.
I think this Pokemon sucks.
He's terrible. So is Quaquaval. Mouse, I think is. I'm a
I
big
think it's
mouse
B.
believer. I'm a big
I
mouse
think I'm-
believer.
I think we're believers, dude. That's what we
Yeah.
are.
I like mouse a
Maybe if
lot.
Gardevoir and B, we gotta put Mousehold with it.
I think it is a good Pokemon. I think it has a lot of flexibility. Amazing with Floette. I think you can run it with almost every Mega. And I think one of the big things about it is that it is a normal type. I think specifically the Scarf Basculegion set is one of the more obnoxious ones and hard ones to deal with. So I think having a normal type, just having one, is enough sometimes to slow his pace down, or so that he can't like checkmate you, right? Like having a normal type's big.
No, absolutely. And I think just follow me, Friend Guard, and then its move pool is very interesting. Whether you run Taunt, Feint, obviously it has Super Fang as well. So Mousehold is something I hope to see more of because I think there's just a lot of potential as a support Pokemon.
Next up is Garganackle. They nerfed him, dude. I actually think the nerfs were killer. I think he would have been much better, but the nerfs, he's F.
He is unfortunately commonly requested F tier Pokemon.
I think Armarouge he's so bad too. He's just not it. You would think he has Flash Fire, but being a fire type sucks. Cerulege, low key. I've played with Cerulege. I think Cerulege, low key C. He's a little bit better because you can bulk up, you can set up Swords Dances. He's got priority, Shadow Sneak. He walls Sneasler as well. So yeah, I think I think he's okay. I think he's really okay. Belly Bolt.
He's the Rog Killer, dude. I can't fucking
Ooh,
beat that guy.
Mr. Skullvillain. Belly Bolt is the Rog Killer. We're
Skullvillain to me is a B tier Pokemon. I think the
really.
Mega feels so good, dude. And I think we're still figuring out what's the best way to run it. But yeah, I think he can absolutely win
I
a
think it's A,
tournament.
man. I think he's so A.
I think he's A.
I'm a huge believer in Skullvillain. I think that the thing, like you said, we're figuring out how to build him, but that's the most beautiful part about Skullvillain. He fits on anything, and that's what makes him so sick. Like, I think, especially, I don't know if he's going to have long staying power. This might be genuinely the only format where Mega Skullvillain is goated, but I think that in this first regulation, he is very strong. I think all the Pokemon are physical. The biggest threat is Charizard, and if you're able to diffuse him with a plethora of other megas, whether it's running him with Rain and Mega Dragonite, or running him with Mega Scizor,
Aerodactyl.
Aerodactyl. No, Scissor's not the one you run him with. The Aerodactyl. What are the other ones? Mega Tyranitar is also very good with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like it's more flexible team building wise than you'd think, and the ability is just too good. Yeah, I think he's low A. I think he is good though.
The format's so physical. Burning everything is just absolutely nuts. And Leech Seed's pretty cool too. So I think he just needs a little bit more bulk for it to be truly broken. But even without it, it's I don't know if he's A, but I'm okay with putting him there. I think he's up there.
Low key a Spothra. I think it's a C tier mon. I think it's actually kind of cool.
I think it definitely has potential as well. I think it's C. I don't think it's really shown off its skills yet, but I think we can expect at least one strong finish from it.
I really do. I think it will top cut a tournament. I think it's strong. I think it's very weird and unique, and you have to build a very specific style around it. But it has a very cool move in Lumina Crash, and also is one of like the only baton passers I've ever seen do well in VGC. Specifically
Yeah,
because
and
it
it
has
seems
speed boost. Yeah.
weirdly consistent too. Like it has enough bulk and like just being able to nuke Sneasler is very nice.
Yeah, that's true. Tink Loki has been on the up, dude. Tinkaton has been very
on a
good with
tear.
Gengar. It's
I
been
don't
on a
understand
tear.
it, but we'll put it in C.
I think it
just
could be over here, really. I think
Nah,
it's
you're
that good.
crazy, dude. I think it's C. I think it's C. But I'm very curious to give it a try or at least watch some games with it because it has been doing so well. Gigaton Hammer for Flow Ed, Fake Out, Feint has a really nice little toolkit. But it's obviously just not strong or bulky enough to be as good as the Pokemon above it.
Don't forget to Encore. Encore specifically with Gengar is crazy because it is pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I do think, and also it has Mold Breaker. So wait, does it run Mold Breaker? It does, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does get Mold Breaker.
Yeah. So I think it's like, I don't know where I was going with the Mold Breaker thought, but yeah, I think it's cool. It's a cool Pokemon. I think like specifically with Gengar, it is pretty nasty. You're right. It's definitely C. It's not very splashable. Palafin, I actually think is pretty bad. I really like Palafin. I think he's really cool. I think just Basculegion being the top dog has just made like it's just kind of silly to use him when he exists. Unfortunately,
Also, switching is just like
it sucks.
kind of. I feel like it's just not as good. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
feel like it's harder to make it work. I also wanted him to be good, but it just doesn't seem worth it.
I think he's usable though. I totally could see us being like, I could see him doing well at a tournament, but I do think he's like a lot more work than Basculegion, and to me that makes him instantly in C. Earthworm, a Pokemon we're very high on, who I think is just, he's definitely like kind of like mid.
Yeah, I feel like Charizard Sneasler being too good makes its life like kind of miserable.
Yeah, and it's like it's not even like consistent or easy to get the shed tail going. Obviously Garchomp is a great partner for it, but I think there's also just a lack of like an amazing Pokemon to put the sub on, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't even really know what you're passing to that makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Maybe you just go Dragonite again.
Yeah. Multi-skill's great, but yeah, it just feels like you want to give it to a Mega, but most of the Megas are just fine without it, and you're just committing so much early game to try and get this little strategy to work.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Glamora?
Glamora has some nasty offensive potential. I feel like, whether it's Mega or not, it just does a shit ton of damage. I just think it's really hard to make it work in this Garchomp meta, and it doesn't trade damage super well, so you have to have a lot of speed control or just like pins next to it, right?
Yeah, I think the weakness is what's really holding it back. I think it has a really good speed, but it's a lot of work to make this thing shine. I do think it is. We can see it do well, and I think we might. It's just more of like you do have to work a little bit harder. Next up is Farigiraf.
Ari, I think it's B or C. I think Mimikyu should not be in B tier. Now I'm thinking about it.
Sure.
Neither, maybe not even Prim. I don't know.
I think Prim should be removed as well. I think Fari
Yeah.
is. I don't know. I do think it has some potential. Like there are no psychic types. It is a normal type. It does stop Sucker Punch, right? Like when it comes to fighting the
Yeah.
big three, it has tools into all of them. It's just sometimes it's like, I think Trick Room can be really good, but it's also like so hard to set up reliably that I'm not sure about Farigiraf.
I think it's B. B is valid. In the past, it's been a little bit better. This is definitely one of its weaker formats, but it's still early, and I think we still need to figure out what the good Trick Room comps are.
Yeah,
Even on Tailwind, it's pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, it does have good damage. It can do a lot of damage. I think Farigiraf is like, it's definitely one of the Pokemon to me that is like, it's up there with the likes of like Amoonguss and Cineroar. Like, I think in the right formats, this Pokemon is deadly. And I think that they made a truly broken Pokemon here. But I think in this format, it is a little bit weaker.
Yeah, it needs something to support a little bit.
Let's talk about him. Let's put the goat up here. King Gambit. Now, where do you think he lies?
I think he's our last S tier Pokemon. I think he's third on that list, probably.
I think it just goes these three, right?
I think that's the correct order for me, yeah.
Yeah.
King Gambit is just nuts. I mean, having that priority Sucker Punch, being able to threaten, Basque Legion, Defiant to scare away Incineroar. Yeah, he's just one of the top 3 Pokemon in the format, and it feels very difficult to deal with outside of literally the 2 Pokemon it's sandwiched between.
Yeah, and I mean, like, also, Chopoberry King Gambit has just been such a monster. He is so good at switching in. He's good at taking hits. He's just all around just, like, really, really hard to remove from the board, right? Whether he's firing off priority moves or he's got just the perfect coverage he needs, like, he's just been incredible. And I think, like, he's here to stay. Also, he's a little bit of depth, right? You can run Black Glasses. You can get even juicier Sucker Punches. So I think that he's just so good. I think he's kind of the best answer to Basque Legion, and that alone makes him one of the best Pokemon in the game. But he is good in everything else too.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's so splashable.
And he's so bulky. So again, like I said, you're very rarely going to one-shot him, like even with close combat because of that Chopoberry. So he is always just like, outside of the 2 Megas back there, they're like the only ones who can potentially one-shot him. So yeah, he's absolutely insane. Cinny. Cinny's low-key, like, I think it's bottom. I think it's like, it's B. It's B for sure. But I think it's been trending down. It's been trending down a lot.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be an S tier Pokemon just because of how it's one of the only support Pokemons that can do what it does, recovery, but I think it's just not bulky enough. Everything at the top just does so much damage to it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's struggling with the bulk. I think also like the rise of King Gambit and Basque Legion were not good for it. I think they kind of set it back because you can't run both resist berries, right? You can't run the Kasib and the Culver Berry. So I think that alone just has kind of set it back. And I think the format is just very aggressive and offensive, and I don't think Cinny fits that. There are comps that really do use it well, and so I think it is still definitely a very viable and good Pokemon, but it is very reliant on just enabling like stuff like Floette or what's the other big one? Totally blanking. Archaludon. Yeah, Floette's a really big one. Oh, Charizard X, I was thinking about as well. It does. It's just kind of like the setup guys. So
yeah, I think it's a little bit underused, but he does have very clear problems. Like, it takes too much from Floette, dude.
Yeah, it does. It's just not bulky enough, like you said. Archaludon. Well, actually, I'm just gonna get rid of him. Archaludon's the last guy.
Yeah. Arch, I think it's B tier, and I think right now it's spiking. It could be A. We could find out that it's still A tier, but right now it has huge problems with Floette. You need to make sure you have enough for Charizard. The format's just so physical that sometimes it's kind of checkmating teams on its own.
Yeah, and I think like Aaron's team was a good step in that right direction. Like seeing it turn into a raid boss in the rain, especially with Sableye, was really really cool. And I think it's just kind of opened up people's like their eyes to him more. Because I think at first like we thought he was done for, right? Like he lost his assault vest, he lost body press. It wasn't looking good. But at the same time, like I do think like whether or not you have body press doesn't really matter if your defense is just getting so high that they cannot KO you.
Yeah, I think if it had those things, it'd be too good, maybe. I mean, Assault Vest, reasonable. But I think getting rid of Body Press is very, very valid. I think in this format, as long as you're not fighting, huge special attackers, Archaludon's able to hold its own and maybe sometimes get out of control.
Yeah, and I think like you said, I think he's one to keep an eye on because his stocks are rising. He went from being like the most hyped Mon day one. He was literally one of the first Pokemon I added to Champions, to being like absolutely like on fraud watch, to now climbing his way back up and earning his right up into the potential A tier.
Yeah, and I think that's a good lesson to take away because that's how I felt about our first tier list. Now that I'm looking at all this, I think we did a good job, and I really hope this is helpful to you guys and that you guys enjoyed this. But yeah, I'm feeling good about this, Colin.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good about this list. I really we'll have to see how it all shakes out at the end. But I think like right now, this is definitely what I think is just really strong, especially after playing a lot of champions myself. Like I think the first one was definitely like the knee-jerk reaction is fun, but this one is definitely a lot more ironed out.
Yeah, this is perfection. We've learned a lot,
Truly.
and we're gonna learn more. And on that note, I think we'll see you next time.
Peace.